Thank you, Director Niddle. Just applaud your organizations for doing a fine job on addressing concerns we may have, whether it's a study or analysis. You do. Please pass it along to your entire staff. You do a fine job. First question, is it possible to close a structural deficit by increasing spending?
To my knowledge, no, that's not possible.
Okay. When you talk about mandatory spending, that's based off current policy. So you have federal mandates, you have laws and statutes that have passed by the General Assembly. So your projections are based off current policy. So if we would change policy, that would change the direction of that, quote, structural deficit moving forward, correct?
Yes, that's an option.
So the governor signed Executive Order 2015-03, which placed a moratorium on new leases for drilling in state parks and forests. So by us not allowing to have more drilling in the Commonwealth, it took off revenue to the oil and gas lease fund or putting that money into the general fund, whatever. So that pulled money out of the state. So that would add to the structural deficit because we were expecting $100 million this year, and that did not occur.
Yes, that would contribute. If there's weakness in the oil and gas lease fund, that would contribute to the underlying deficit.
Okay. Within your analysis, the Economic and Budget Outlook, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the January update, there's a line that says, as part of the imbalance, the expenditures are, quote, non-pension personnel expenditures increased by $125 million. What is that, and why are they growing by $125 million?
If I could, what page do you have?
Page 50. So on the right-hand side, it's the January 2016 one.
Oh, I see. Non-pension personnel expenditures increased by $125 million.
Yeah, what is that?
I believe that would be underlying wages and health care for employees.
And those are done contractually through the governor's office, correct? So whatever they contract with state employees for increases would affect that amount?
That is correct.
And then their hiring practices. So the more they hire, the more that cost would increase moving forward.
That's correct.
And there's no mechanism for them to come to the General Assembly besides these appropriations hearings to ask for additional dollars to support the governor's decision to increase spending through those mechanisms, correct?
That's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay. And going through this, I know my good friend Warren Camp highlighted the 4 cost drivers. Since you've been in office, have those 4 cost drivers changed?
My experience has been that the 4 we highlighted have been there for quite some time, and every year they're the same cost drivers.
So really, if we don't really attack the structural deficit, you need to attack those 4 expenditures through policy changes to really make a difference moving forward. Even if you increase revenue, increase spending, if those cost drivers are still prevalent and present within your budget, you're still going to have structural issues in the out years.
I would say it's one option that should be considered along with the other ones on non-mandatory spending and revenues.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.